Hello, my name is Gilly Guide. I'd like to tell you my Super Smash Bros. Story. Super Smash Bros. Has been a big part of my life for a very long time, and I feel it's very near to my heart. It's how I identify myself and how I build a social circle around me for support. Uh, my story starts, as with most people, with Smash 64. I was around 9 years old, and my parents kept renting Smash 64 at the video game store. So they bought it for us, and we started playing it right away a lot with our cousin and my brother, who I will be referring to as Gilly Brother for the rest of the video. Uh, he was always very much a better player than me. He's very naturally talented at video games. So it really provided a lot of motivation for me to get better at Smash 64. So I started going online and learning about advanced techniques and slowly sharing them with my brother. Never enough techniques to get ahead of him, but he was also picking them up himself. So he was also improving, but we were both getting better, and we continued this for I think close to like 7 years or something. We were really going hard in the Smash Bros. We used to play almost every day, and we were just about starting to get like the same level of competitive play. And then I was introduced to Melee from a friend of mine, and I knew about all the advanced techniques in Melee. I knew about wave dashing from watching a tournament video online of Mewtwo King and Azen, I think it was, or PC Chris actually, and I started. Initially I thought I'd never play Melee competitively. I thought that all the wave dashes and everything were a little bit too crazy, and I'd never be good enough to do all this consistently. So I kind of dropped Melee. I didn't really want to pick it up, and I kept playing 64 with my brother, and we got to the point where he just kind of stopped playing with me as much. He started going into other games like shooters, etc. And when that happened, I borrowed Melee from my friend, and I started learning some of the advanced techniques that were in Melee. And I started getting consistent at some of the techniques like wave dashing, and I looked on Smashboards to find if there was a local meetup, which of course there was. And when I first joined this Smash Bros. Scene, it was rather small meetups at the university, but we always had a lot of fun, and we always stayed until we could possibly, right? Until they got some old angry white guy kicked us out, right? And so I kept doing this competitive play. I was happy with it. I was really practicing hours and hours on every day. And I just kind of burned out a little bit, and I was recording matches for the local community so that people could get better, and also hosting here in the basement. And I just did a lot, and it just kind of burned me out, and I wanted to try something else new. So I started getting interested in speedrunning, specifically Ocarina of Time speedruns, looking at Cosmo Wright speedruns. I know it's pretty stereotypical to say that Cosmo got me into speedrunning, but that's really what happened. And I just picked Smash 64 because it had been such a great part of my childhood and a part of who I am. And I thought it'd be a great idea to look to see where a record would be so I could find out how to beat it. I'd always used Donkey Kong casually. I initially used Yoshi, but I actually had a friend who came, and all he did was shield roll and grab back throw me off the stage as Donkey Kong, and then fair me or forward aerial or a down aerial. He would always kill me off the stage, and I thought that was a really easy way to play. So I started picking up Donkey Kong, and I started beating my brother for the first time. And So Donkey Kong had been my character of competitive choice for a while, and when I looked on Speed Demo's archive, which I thought was the be all end all of record runs, right? And I see Jeremy Dahl's record of 3 minutes and 1 second in-game time. And I said, hey, I can beat that. I can see several places. The competitive person in me saw several places that could be a faster speed run. So I I didn't really like the N64 controller that much for 64 anymore. The controllers we had used as kids were starting to break down, and I'd grown attached to the GameCube controller in all my my couple years of competitive Melee. So I wanted to run it on GameCube controller, so I ran it on Virtual Console. At first I didn't realize it was slower. We were also using, I was comparing my times with the in-game timer used on Jeremy Dahl's run. And I went on a grind to get this run at the early half of 2013. I think it took a couple months, and I was staying up all night just putting in all this effort to try and get a good run. And eventually I got a run in 6 minutes and 50 seconds in real time, and I started to realize in races that I was getting significantly slower times than my opponents, even though I could see I was using faster strategies. So I looked at it a little further, and I found out that you can't skip the announcer cutscenes as quickly in between stages. So then it was found that Virtual Console was slower. And I started, I had my run for DK, 5 stock, very easy. So I thought, I'm going to start inventing some new categories to try and mix things up a bit. I ran with different characters because to kind of at the request of the chat, sorry for the stumbling, and I started getting new categories like all unlockables, unlock our characters, and doing runs with characters like Kirby and Luigi and Jigglypuff, runs I'd never done before. And I just kind of lost focus a little bit and started dabbling with Lord of the Rings Online and just a couple other things and other speed games as well, like Super Monkey Ball 2 and Diddy Kong Racing. And I just kind of went back to competitive Melee after a while of that. I thought, hey, I'll get my drive back and I'll make my ice climbers what I wanted them to be. And I kind of got mixed results with that. My efforts were rewarded somewhat, but I didn't see the improvement that I wanted to see, and it was very disheartening. And I started missing doing speedruns and streaming, having people watch me and interact with them, playing my favorite game of all time. So I thought, what could really motivate me to try again? And I was watching Cosmo's Ocarina of Time speedruns still, because those have always appealed to me. Ever since I knew about them, I've watched them, at least. And I saw it on iQue, the iQue player right here, and I was amazed. I thought it was a really interesting console, and I really wanted to see Smash 64 on that console. And when I looked it up online, there was the only videos I could see of Smash 64 on iQue was one video with just the title and just the title where it introduces all the characters, and another video with gameplay of it, but gameplay on all 16 games. It wasn't good gameplay. It wasn't showing off anything. So I felt like there was kind of a lack of iQue Smash on YouTube, and speedruns would be a great way to do that, to put that in. So I ordered my iQOO, and I was just interested in running because of the novelty of the system. And after a while, I realized that it's probably the fastest system, given the amount of lag it would save. So once I got it, I started going in on these attempts, knowing that I could get the fastest in-game time, which the Smash 64 running community, when I was absent, I was a part of the decision, but we moved to calculating our runs in real time, which instead of in-game time, because for a couple reasons. One being that the in-game timer is only accurate to the nearest second. And the other reason being that the game is actually faster without using by turning the in-game timer to infinite, therefore not having to calculate the amount of time at every stage, at the end of every stage rather. And I started doing my attempts. I knew it was faster. I knew I could probably get the fastest run ever completed on Super Smash Bros. So I went in hard, and I spent a little bit over 2 months grinding, and that only ended like a couple weeks ago. So I was really grinding hard for that record, and I got it with a 5:43.77, so 5 minutes, 43 seconds, and 77 milliseconds. Finally beating the initial run that I had meant to beat a couple years ago in Jeremy Dahl's SDA time. Currently, after getting that record, I want to improve it by about 5 or 10 seconds eventually, but right now I'm enjoying playing Melee competitively with my friends, as well as Project Melee, a new Brawl mod. Actually, it's not that new. And I'm enjoying speedrunning both Smash 64 and other games. And I just like to take this time in it. There's going to be another chapter in this story, and I'm really looking forward to seeing what the future holds for me and Smash Bros. With Smash 4. And thank you all for the people who have stuck with me through this whole process and supported me. Thank you for inspiring me, Jeremy Dahl, initially. Thank you for inspiring me, Cosmo, initially. And thank you, Wobbles, for inspiring me to play Ice Climbers and to make people really see the depth of this amazing character. Thank you guys for watching. Like, follow, subscribe, all those things. If you want to see more of this content, the only way it's going to happen is if you support me in what I do. But I've gotten so much support so far, and just thank you guys. I really appreciate it. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Sorry for a little bit of the stammering and whatnot, but I'm glad I did it. And that's that, I guess. It's a pretty emotional subject for me to talk about Smash Bros. This wasn't an easy thing to just go and do. But I'm glad that I've done it, and I hope it gets a good response.